Hello, 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 hello. Welcome. We are back, guys. Welcome. Get the show on the road. It's been a while. Good morning. Good afternoon, as always. Very good evening, ladies and gents. Hope you're all doing well. So we are back. Well, better fix this. Just one moment. Sorry. That's a bit better. Been a minute, guys. So obviously I've been away from the streams for the past month, basically. Been overseas, as a lot of you know. Nonetheless, it is good to be back. A little bit rusty. We've been obviously putting in the work with the members group. But aside from that, I haven't been on stream, so a few bits and bobs are all over the shop in the wrong places at the moment. So I'm just fixing it as I go along. But nonetheless, what we'll do is we'll do our best. We'll see what we can come up with moving forward today on the charts. And as always, guys, do say g'day, do hit the like button. And if you do have any charts or any questions, do not be shy at all to send those in. And as always, we'll be looking at GJ. We'll also take a look at gold. Gold at obviously at all-time highs yet again. Looking at considering a limit order buy actually on gold back at the high of that, like the most recent bearish candle on this M15. So that's something I'm considering right now. Price has obviously, we are trending to the upside. We have just created another impulse low. High probability will continue to downside. A safer option on that at this point would be waiting for a 15-minute candle to close back below. So anyway, without further ado, let's take a look at things, guys, and we'll start today off with having a look at gold. In the meantime, once again, guys, do smash the like button. All right, so first of all, let's have a look at news. There is a lot of news about doesn't have it as red folder news, but what we've got is obviously the BRICS summit, day 2 of the BRICS summit. So that will obviously impact a lot on the US dollar, obviously a lot on gold as well. So something to be wary of, and that was just that when there is no actual schedule as to what might be released and what time. So it's just something to keep a bit of an eye on. If gold does spike or drop, then obviously it could be off the back of something said out of that summit. But anyway, guys, looking at weekly, a very strong bullish candle currently got forming. The previous candle was also a very strong bullish candle. Let me turn that music down before I forget. That should be better. So based off the weekly, we are strong bullish. Daily, strong bullish as well. Previous daily closed bullish engulfing to Monday's candle. Current candle, high, low, high to the previous candle. What we're going to do is mark in the high of the current candle. What we're also going to do is mark in the low of the current candle. And we're going to see what we've got either side of that. Is the music better just now, mate? Let me know. I think it should be. I've just turned it down a bit. Onto the 4-hour time frame. We have just broken a resistance. Again, structurally we are bullish and we're into all-time high territory yet again. So for me, I'm not at all afraid to look for the continuation buys at this point, because we are trending, and we are in a big bull trend on gold, so there is nothing really stopping it. I mean, every time it does look like it's going to create a high, it generally has created another impulse to the upside. So just based off the fact that it's into all-time high territory, shouldn't really necessarily put you off, especially if it's had a bit of a pause prior to a continuation move. So as the most recent support, that's at the current daily candles low, current daily candles high, gonna mark in the most recent resistance just below it. What we can see is we've tapped into it, we've bounced off it, and we remain above it. So for me, obviously, as long as we remain above that 27.48, I would be looking for potential buys. Now the options would be the continuation. As I mentioned before, there is a limit order option which would have been tagged in. And if anyone was listening, you'd be tagged in, you'd be about 6 pip profit just now. So did mention at the very start, I'm not in it, I didn't set the order, I was looking at it, but I didn't set it in time. So, but based off what I'm seeing, so obviously this is the support we've got on the 30-minute time frame to the downside, which lines up the 4-hour support. It'd be a brave man trying to sell gold at this moment. What I prefer to do is, if it does pull back, I need a really strong catalyst to consider a sell. So not just one candle closing back in that range below. I want to see a bit of consolidation and a nice strong closure below. And that point there, I may start to consider a very cheeky and very risky counter trend sell. But once again, you're a brave man trying to sell gold at the moment. So I'm not going to put that in just now. However, what I would be doing is definitely looking for continuation for buys, sorry, below the low. Let me just remove this horizontal, the current daily candles low. Definitely looking for the buys, sorry, around the current daily candles low. Price did pull back to form support at that level. In my opinion, that'd definitely be an option to look for a potential buy from that point there. So gold, I'm all about the buyers today. Once again, it took that limit order, you've been a bit of profit just now. So otherwise what we're doing is we're waiting to see how this 15-minute closes. That's what I'm going to do right now, and I'm going to see if it does close a weak bearish candle. What I'm going to look for is a low wick to form on the new hourly. The hourly at that point is going to close a strong bullish candle still, well, relatively strong, high low, higher high. So at that point, if we do close a weak bearish M15, I'll be looking for just a small lower wick on the new candle, and price to begin to break above into, once again, all-time high territory. At that point there is a high probability, in my opinion, it's going to give us at least that 10, 15, 20 pip move to get to at least TP1. So buyers above potential on the next M30, next hourly, M15. That's what we could be looking for. If it does close back a strong bearish candle, what I might need to wait for is at least another 15-minute candle to close back right up near the high, if not above it. And then it's going to be the option of potentially either a limit order if it closes significantly above, or just a continuation buy. So that is what I'm currently looking at on gold. Definitely preferring the buys. I'm all about the buys. So that's what at this stage I'm looking at. Can someone just confirm the music is okay just now? And let's move on to GJ. So notice the GJ bouncing back up, and it's in a bit of an uptrend of late as well. So let's look at the weekly time frame to begin, and it is forming a strong bullish candle, very strong bullish candle at this point. High low, high high to the previous candle. Did mention the members that if we broke the high of that previous candle, there's a high probability it will make a nice impulse to the upside. If we broke the low of that previous candle, so I think it's pretty much a doji. It's closed the candle with a small body with long wicks in either direction. So what that suggests is, and it's at a resistance, if we were to break the low of it, there'd be a high probability that we would potentially make a deeper pullback. However, if we broke the high of it with clean trap to the left, there's obviously would be a high probability that price would continue to the upside, and that's what it's currently doing, tapping in towards that 198 flat region. It's a strong bullish in a weekly. Daily structure remains bearish, and we are approaching that resistance as well here to the left at 198 flat. So bearish in structure, but with momentum to the upside, counter probabilities to the upside. So we can use that if we are to look for potential buys. And onto the 4-hour. Now, believe it or not, this is it's technically bearish, the 4-hour. That is the highest point of the impulse to the downside. That is the lowest point, and there's no 2 or more consecutive candle pullback in this leg to the downside. Therefore, anything between these highs and these lows at this stage would mean we remain technically bearish in structure on the 4 hour, and as we can see, we've not yet closed above, nor have we created a low. So at the moment we're technically bearish. However, we are creating once again within the micro trend some high lows, higher highs as we approach this resistance. So I'm just going to mark in the resistance to the upside. As far as support, the most recent support we've got is that level just there. Let's just quickly look at gold, see how it closed. All right, I'm going to place a buy limit, guys, back at 27.4891 roughly. Based off the hourly, so I'm looking at the hourly time frame, so I'm just seeing it up. Actually, a gap on IC markets. It's a bit awkward. I'm gonna use that candle itself. So about 27.4873. 27.4873. I'm going to place a buy limit order at currently. That's what I'm going to be doing. Stop loss will be below. Looking at the 4 hour, aren't I here? It's a bit tricky. Stop loss will be below this hourly candle, 27.4540 roughly. That's where I'm going to be placing it. All right, so that's, I've currently got an order set at 27.4873. That's what I'm currently looking at with the stop loss. Whoops, back below. Sorry, let me set this up once again, guys. 48.73. Stop loss is below the previous hourly. Oh man, sorry, it's been a while, guys, so you have to bear with it. I'm struggling a bit. I've had zero sleep. I've not had sleep. I just was on a plane all night last night, my time, and I've not had any sleep, but I have jumped on stream. I'm trying to stay awake so I can get back acclimated into Oz time. So I'm doing my best. Just bear with me, guys. All right, so that's gold. That's what I'm currently looking at. I'll keep an eye on my meta trade so it does get tagged in. So back to GJ. Wow, nice strong closure in the hour linear. So once again, daily is technically bearish in structure. The 4 hours technically bearish in structure, but we do have counter probabilities and we are trending to the upside. And we are creating some high lows, high highs within the micro trend. On to the 30-minute. That is technically bullish. All right, so what we can see is, let's have a zoom out to the left hand side here and see what we're currently coming up against. There's a little bit of minor resistance, bit of a tricky one because you don't have much of a zone on the M30. I'm just going to mark in the highs of that bullish candle for the time being, and we've got still some volume, still some margin to the upside. Now, have we had any sort of pause? We have on the 15. I mean, GJ looks pretty good for some continuation buys just now. Also based off the 5-minute time frame as well, creating some high lows, higher highs. Yeah, GJ's looking also pretty good at the moment. What I'll be doing is marking this support here. At that point, closure below, structural flip back bearish. So what I'm more inclined to do right now on GJ is just wait for either a pull back towards 197 flat and for price to respect that level to look for a potential buy. And if it holds, that's what I'll be looking for. Now, further options, you could basically be looking at a buy pretty much just now, guys, on GJ. Strong closure in the 15, closed above the bows and counts to the left. It's closed the M30 bullish. It's pretty much, we're almost engulfed that pause candle. So there could be potential options just now. However, I'm still focused on gold for the time being. I've got that order set, so that's what I'll be focusing on. So for me, GJ buys are potentially valid just now. The entry would be just above the bearish candle high. You probably would not be triggered in just yet. The high is 64. No, you wouldn't. You pretty much at entry if anyone is interested. Stop loss would be have to be below the low of that previous 15. It's a bit of a wide one. Don't know how I feel about that, to be honest. So I'm going to wait on GJ. I'm not going to take it. I'm going to wait and see how price reacts. If it does now close below this 15-minute support, potentially we could get some cheeky counter trend sells. If it does just reject, but right, like I mentioned, right now you could be in some potential GJ buys if anyone is interested. And yeah, so I'm currently waiting on gold. Now the other option on gold, if this doesn't trigger in on the hourly on the limit order, then what I could look for is just to wait and see how this 15-minute candle closes. If it does close back bullish and close engulfing the body minimum, then I can just look for the continuation buy. That would suffice, in my opinion, on this particular occasion. So that is the deal right now, guys. GJ buys are on the table. You should be in it. If you are looking at it, you should be in it. You should be up about 4 or 5 pips already. So how are we all doing, guys? Hope you're all doing well. Welcome back. Beats Voyager, g'day to you. Rick, finally back. Yep, I am. Midi, salutations to you. Good seeing it. Sketchmas, thank you. Yeah, Rick should be fixed just now, and Franco, good morning to you. So wow, there goes GJ. There goes GJ. So hopefully some of you took it. If you did, you'd be pretty much at TP1 just now. Marvy, good morning to you, mate. Welcome. Welcome. So for me, I'm waiting on gold, guys. GJ's made the move. If anyone did take it, is anyone in GJ buys at the moment? Show of hands if you are. Now the other pair that I've picked up off late, and I've actually been trading it, but I've had all break evens, believe it or not, since I've started trading it, is GCAD. This particular pair. So we will do some analysis on it. I'm just going to make sure I'm on gold on my MetaTrader. So if it does ruin, I am weary of it. All right, so looking at GCAD and looking at the current weekly candle against the previous, it's quite a strong bearish candle. I mean, it's still relatively early into the week. We're almost halfway through it. Based off that, I call it a weak bearish candle based off the current candle itself. But as we can see, we're hovering above a resistance here to the left. We tapped in on the previous candle only to close back above it and close back bullish. Current candle is almost pulled back to the same level. This higher time frame resistance ran at 178.70 and is now making a bit of a pullback as well. So let's have a look at the daily. Previous daily closed back relatively more. It's kind of an indecision candle with obviously a small body, long weak and up direction. What we can see, structure remains bearish though, and we have retested the last significant lower high in a daily time frame, this resistance at 181 flat, only to reject right at lower high, and we've since created a higher low though. So we're just a little bit of indecision within price action just now on GCAD. So hard to know what to make of that, but we're technically bearish on the daily, technically bearish on the weekly as far as the candle itself. Now the 4 hour, let me take a close look at this. There's the 2 candle pullback, so it's flip bearish to respect the last significant lower high just here. So the 4 hour structure is also bearish. So at this rate, GCAD's actually a sell based off the first 3 timeframes. Doesn't mean I'm just going to be interested in selling it. I'm going to see what we've got in 30-minute time frame, but for the time being, what I'm going to do is mark in the most recent resistance and most recent support, and then we'll see what we've got in between and above or below those levels. So technically bearish, and also the 30-minute appears to be bearish as well. So the bias is completely bearish on GCAD at the moment. So what I'd be looking for just now is preferably I want to trade it with the trend. Is rejecting if this candle close bearish engulfing. I'm not gonna have the margin. So what I'd probably be waiting for on GCAD is just the price to pull back, provide a little bit more margin, look for a rejection. May not necessarily pull the way back to the 4 hour resistance. It may pull back even higher though. There is potential for it to pull back towards 179 flat, 179.90. If it did, Obviously, the bigger the pullback, the more margin we'll have to sell it. So that's something we could potentially be looking at. It's just a pair that I not necessarily out to trade, but if GJ and Gold aren't offering anything, then that's when I start to look at it a bit more. But obviously GJ and Gold are looking pretty good, so I don't feel we'll probably get involved in any GCAT action today, but wait and see anyway, guys. So that is the plan moving forward. Gold, I'm about to remove the limit order, and what I'm going to do is focus on the continuation buy instead. So we've already created an upper wick, we pulled back to create a lower wick, and now we're about to break our own high again. So at this point, I feel limit orders are probably not valid anymore, so I'm just going to remove it. And now what I'm going to do is, let's have a look at a 5-minute time frame. Now I'm definitely waiting for a 15-minute closure. If this candle closes at least engulfing the body, then I would set a buy stop above that bearish candle's high. That's what I'll potentially be looking at, guys, just now. So just gonna get the horizontals in place with the use of magic keys, but I'm not setting any pending order just yet until we've got this 15-minute candle closing. So could be potentially looking at a buy at this rate above 27.53.40. That will be the entry. I'm waiting 3.5 minutes, well, just over 3.5 minutes. Rick didn't take it. Carl F, good morning, welcome, good to see you here on stream. Thank you for your support. Not expecting that many on the stream, to be honest, today. It'll take some time, but that's totally understandable, considering I've been absent for quite some time of late. So members, I'll just set up a call for you guys. Do I have a valid entry in a 5-minute? I mean, I do. Yeah, there's a valid entry based on the 5-minute time frame, guys, above the high just now. But once again, the safer option is to wait for the 15-minute, and that is what I'm going to be doing personally. So it just means you need to sit tight for 2.5 minutes, but the option is there based off a 5-minute. Members, thank you to all of you as well, by the way, guys, for continuing to support me even though I've been away. But we have been working together though. We've been nearly pretty much every day, missed a few days here and there, but I've been on with the members pretty much on the daily. So I do appreciate all your support as well for not giving up on me just yet. But we are back with members. We are back to pretty much full schedule just now. So even without any sleep, I'm back and raring to go. Looking forward to it. Yeah. GJ would have just given the 10 by the looks of it, and it's since retraced. So focus is gold, guys. Waiting for this 15-minute once close stronger. Just let me share the stream with the free members group. Now, unfortunately, I've lost the TikTok account. It's gone. I tried to log in here. I thought maybe I just couldn't do it over there after a few strikes, but no, it's officially gone. So I'm gonna have to start that fresh, which isn't great, but you do. It's completely considered a scam over in Thailand. Forex trading, and I can see why there's been a lot of problems with it, with celebrities as well. Celebrities influencing them vulnerable to pump their cash and then to run away with it, and or convert it into crypto, never to be seen again. So Rick, you're waiting for gold? Yep, that's fair enough. Not here for long. Got the gold buys, I think you mean. Show some support. Thank you, I appreciate it, mate. All right, so the 15 is not closed the greatest. All right, want to see now if I'm to consider any entry just now. I want to see this candle pop up before it flips back to create lower, pop up and approach the high, then pull back to create lower wick. At that point there, if it was to break its own high yet again, I would trust it with the obviously into unknown territory above that. It will give us I trust it that it give us enough to get that 10, 15, 20 pips. So that's what I could be potentially looking at without that lower wick, and with also the lack of strength for that previous M15. I'm rather just at this point wait for that to happen, and if it doesn't, then there could be options on the M30, and that could also be based off on the 15, or not for the next M30 candle, and that would be based off the limit order interruption entry if it does engulf. So that is another option. DJ rejecting, so all right, so far so good. Be nice if it popped up a little bit higher and then start to pull back to create a low wick. If it does that, then I'll set a buy stop above the high. So tell me guys, how's it all been going? How's the trade been going since I've been absent for the last month? Hope it's been going well. October's been lousy for me. It's been a really, but I've been trading tiny lots because I've been using my phone, like ridiculously tiny. Not even about a quarter, maybe a quarter, not even a quarter of my normal lot size, to be honest, because I find it very hard to execute and manage trades off the phone. To be honest, nearly every trade's been a break even. There's just been so many break evens, 1 or 2 losses. Not sure about the wins, to be honest. I don't know if I've taken a win, but I haven't traded much at all this October. But yeah, it's been very, very small entries. Only a couple losses, but again, most of the trades have been break even. And to be honest, majority were on GCAD. So Luke, thank you, appreciate it. Rick, got a funded account. Nice one. No, personal, mate. Personal, not funded. I did have a funded account, but that's said what happened to that many times. They scammed me and ran away, as a lot of them do. 300k account. Some magic rolling drawdown rule. I understand like accumulated drawdown of the day, but like of all trades in history, I can't accumulate more than 8%, which is absolute crap. It's not a rule in there, that particular top firm's rules, regulations. They made it up. And they said, no, I'm right, I'll look into it. And then I couldn't log into my account, and then they said I didn't trade the account, was inactive for too long, for a month, and that way they banned me by saying that. So that was an absolute joke. That's only funds for anyone who's interested. Don't give up your hard-earned cash to buy a funded account with them. All right, let's see on gold. Really wants to pull back, create low wick again. There isn't a valid entry off the 5 minute. 5 minute is creating some high lows, high highs. You probably want to see this candle close strongly at around this current level. Wait for a low wick on the following candle, and if it begins to break, I feel that's not a bad option on gold, to be honest, guys. If you're looking at the same sort of entry around that around that 27.53.40, yeah, 27.53.40 ish. It's just the way gold is trading at the moment. There is a lot of momentum, a lot of volume. Crispy Honeybee, thank you. Good to have you. Ian, welcome to you, mate. Hope you're well. Yeah, it's a bit of a tricky one at the moment. You want this to start flipping very quickly. I'll weigh up the options just now. Alright, I'm going to stick to original plan. So I'm not going to take that 5 minute entry, so I'm going to actually set up, I'm going to remove it. I'm going to stick to original plan. I'd rather have the lower wick on a 15. So if anyone is interested, you'll be looking at an entry based on the 5 minute around that 40 level. But just be wary, the 15 has no lower wick. What I could potentially look for if it does just begin to break is that limit order entry. So that's likely at this point what I'll be looking at. DJ retracing. Interesting. All right, so that's your option on gold based off the 5 minute. But I'm personally waiting on this 15 minute candles close. Yeah, I'm just going to remove that so no one gets confused. Had a bit of a bad run of late over there too, guys. I was supposed to fly home at Saturday, but I was feeling really terrible. So I actually changed my flight, gave it a few more days to see how I was, and obviously felt a lot better. Sunday I started to feel better. Monday was much better. Obviously yesterday was back to pretty much square one, back to being good again. So Steve, thank you, mate. Good to have you on the stream as always. Luke, what closure are you waiting for on 15? Well, I'm at this rate, wouldn't worry me if the 15 closes with no lower wick to the downside. What I want to see is really for it to close a very strong bullish candle, preferably engulfing, to be honest, closing at 7-8 pips above the high of that bearish candle. If that is to be the case, then I'd look for the limit order buy on the next M30. Otherwise, continuation buys also based off the 30 minute would also be valid in my opinion. So lower wick to form, and then look for a potential entry as price begins to break that bearish candle's high. So long as this candle closes high up, so obviously well above the bodies of the candles to the left, the higher the better. So I'd say above probably the 50% of this wick from the open to the high, that would signify to me as enough strength in that candle itself, and I would trust the potential buyers on the following candle. So that's what I'm looking at right now. I'm not going to take it based off within the current 30, the current M15, current 30, and wait for the closure and then see where we're at. Hopefully that makes sense. Alright, GCAD is rejecting, but it's made the move within the current candle. It's a bit of a tricky one on GCAD at the moment. Really would have preferred for it to pop up higher and then reject. Now, seeing we've again formed a resistance within the current daily candle, we're approaching support. So if we were to once again approach the resistance, which lines up this level here to the left as well, pretty clean traffic above it. So at that point there, I'd actually start to look for the counter trend buyers. We're bouncing off the 4-hour support as well. That adds confidence. You're also going to have the 4-hour breaking zone higher after pulling back to create a deeper low wick. That would add further confidence. You've also got the daily be doing the same thing, be pulling back within its own candle, and if it broke its high again, there's a high probability it will make a deeper move to the upside. So I want a closure above, and then I would consider buyers. And also, if it does reject it again, then I consider the sell option. So that's what I'd be looking at currently on GCAD. Back to good old GJ and gold though. Let's watch the 15. Oh, got an absolute shocker back on a bung back. I actually heard it sneezing on the weekend, believe it or not. It's just one of those things. I'm sure we've all done it, especially anyone over the age of 40. You know what I'm talking about. We have this sneeze and this adverse like movement, and all of a sudden you just get this pain, this sharp pain. I've had it pretty much since then, and obviously sitting on a plane for the best part of 9 hours doesn't help. That's the only mad confirmation pain. Oh no. When you sneeze and your body, you tear some, or I don't know, you flex some muscle too hard or whatever it is and start cramping up. Takes a lot of energy to sneeze these days. Old man, I meant, yeah. It's the old man confirmation pain. You sneeze or cough, yeah, it's not a great feeling, is it? knew it straight away too. All right, so this candle is not closing very strong at all, to be honest, guys. So we're just starting to consolidate a bit for 15. So what I want to see now is simply, my rules would suggest I need to see another confirmation. That would be, once again, a strong closure right up near the high, well above the bodies of the candles here to the left. Now I trust it. I don't have an valid impulse entry at the moment. We're just not trending right now. We're cooling off a little bit, maybe prior to London Open. 30 minutes exhausting as well. We're leaving long wicks in our direction, closing with small bodies. Once again suggests that maybe we are exhausting a little bit on the move to the upside. Hourly as well, not looking like it at the moment. It has the momentum. So right now, that's what I'm going to be waiting for. I'm going to be waiting for, again, 15 minutes to see where we're at. If this candle closes right up near the high or even above it, there could be still the options on the next M15 for little limit order as well. So that's what I'm waiting on gold. GJ is above support. That's not a catalyst at all for me to sell it, so I'm not going to be looking to do so. So right now, again, really I'm been waiting for this candle to close, this M30. If we do close back up near the high, once again the options are going to be the limit order buy if it doesn't go, or the continuation buy. And that's my preference would be to buy it, guys. It is currently in a pretty nice strong uptrend as far as the current weekly candle itself. So once again, it would be, in my opinion, the better option to play in line with the strength of that candle. But however, I do see some potential counter trend entries if it does begin to close below this support on the 15, but I'd want to see it actually close below, more so in a 30-minute. No fun getting old, is it, Carl? Haven't been to gym as well for about 3 weeks, or yeah, no, a bit longer, about a month now. That's not good. Definitely feel really weak, to be honest. Lost a bit of size too. Guys, if you could please hit that like button, be much appreciated. If you start back at the gym after you're off, eat my toes. Well, you do tense the toes when you're trying to lift the weight, don't you? It's just every single muscle in the body. You're putting the effort, especially extra effort once you're, you know, of our age. So good to get back though. I'll maybe tomorrow just see if I get some sleep this evening. That'd be nice. Problem is, I wasn't going to bed till late over there, and now the time change as well. It's 4 hours ahead here, so if I go to bed at the same time as going to bed there, it means I'm going to bed here at like 6 or 7 a.m. about 6 a.m. or so, which isn't great. Can't be doing that. So different lifestyle over there. It's very different. All right, DJ. What I want to see it do, I definitely want to see it close below support. I want it, reason being is that would be below 197.50. Psychological round number. So I want it to be a significant closure below. then retest, and then I may consider the early entry before the 30-minute closure. Definitely the better option is to wait for this 30. Reason being, it will also close the hourly. If it did close below, you're closing bearish engulfing the hourly. That's a much stronger catalyst, especially when you're counter trend trading, guys. You really need a strong catalyst, because what this could do right now is, once again, if anyone did have a sell stop based off the 15-minute breaking the support, you're stuck in some significant drawdown just now. So we are in an uptrend, and what this could do just now is create that equal low or higher low based off the 30, and then continue to trend to the upside. You got daily counter probabilities to the upside as well, so it could just be making a little bit of a pullback within its own candle to gather up some more liquidity before it heads back up again. So it's why you're better to wait for the stronger confirmation in this situation. That's definitely a closure blow. Preference would be the 30 and the hourly. 15 possibly, but again, think about it. The hourly's going to close bearish engulfing. A much stronger catalyst than a 15-minute candle closure below. Talk to me, guys. No one's answered. How's the train been going since, apart from Rick? Congratulations on being funded. Once again, I've not really been on the charts much at all during October. Obviously, I've come back to see gold is at all-time highs, and silver is also moving quite well. Obviously, pulling back just now, but it has been in quite a strong uptrend of late. A lot of it, I feel, is to do with the summit, the BRIC summit. So I'd be really wary of it, guys. I've listed it here on Forex.com as just orange fall news, but I feel it's a lot more significant than that, to be honest. You've also got, well, that was yesterday, sorry. Well, using earlier today, my time. Yesterday for you guys, yeah, A.C.T president speaking. But just be wary of this BRIC summit. What may come out of it. I think what they've basically come out and said, well, the Saudis have pretty much come out and said that they're ditching the US dollar. It's a trade for oil. They're no longer going to accept the US dollar. Pretty sure that's what they've said so far. So based off that, I mean, I haven't even looked at the majors today. Been in a bit of a free fall though, but it looks a bit off late. Anyway. Balance still on zero. Waiting for a good start on these streams. That's all good, mate. You take your time with it. And when you see fit to trade it, that's when you trade it, I suppose. So yeah, but so long as you see it being a decent trade, then by all means. But if you don't really, if it's not something that you would take, then I don't suggest taking it, to be honest. Just go stick to your own guns as well. But by all means, if you like the trade, %, why not? And this is fine too, guys. I'm pulling back to retest that zone. Now, not a problem at all, because we could get the buyers from a little lower down. I did say earlier I had a limit order in. I did remove it. Way too late to keep that in. So some of you may still have it, but I don't. I removed it. Ricky took a small long roll. Oh, based off the level. Okay, fair enough. I really hope it works out for you. But for me, it's not valid anymore. But as far as the level to buy from, it's definitely a decent level. You gotta hope it holds at this stage, which it definitely could. Obviously, it's retesting in the most recent resistance on the 30 and hourly. So it is a good chance or potential for it to hold that level. Grab that liquidity before it heads back up. But for me, when I'm setting it based off the hourly, I would have wanted to be triggered in a lot earlier, to be honest. Made too much of an upper wick in my opinion. I think it's basically tapped into the high of that previous candle. The high was 27. It's just rejected it, just below it. So my concern is seeing its create a significant upper wick just now, broken its own low. There's a good chance that it could now end up closing back a bearish candle. What you've got is also the 30-minute low high, low low. So for me, that's too much to against the potential limit order buy that I had earlier. It's too late for that, in my opinion. But again, doesn't mean it can't work. So I wish you luck. This 15 is about to close. Now it's bouncing off, so it's looking pretty good. GJ is closing above, so definitely need to wait for that hourly M30 closure on GJ. You're a break even, nice one. Yeah, so the 15 is just created, it's what's closed the bearish candle. It's created a bit of an upper wick. I think it's good that you're managing it, because if it does now pull back and break below that previous candle, I think there's a good chance it will eventually end up closing back at maybe even below that resistance. Wicked out $40 plus, nice one. Guys, if you just help me out a little bit with 30 on stream, appreciate you. With those who haven't hit the like button, be again much appreciated. First stream back for like a month, I think about a month roughly. So I appreciate the support. If you could just hit the like button. Right now waiting on gold for potential buys. This rate possibly from support, but still think the buys above the high is probably the way to go about at this stage. Reason being is likely not going to have the margin if it does. First of all, if you do wait for that confirmation of support for me at this level, likely not going to have the margin and buy it. It's probably better off at that point looking for the continuation buy. Now, be a brave man selling it, to be honest. What we've done though is form support above previous resistance. So price was to begin to close now below that previous resistance. Potentially, but it'd be very risky because it is in, as we know, a massive uptrend. GJ respecting the 15-minute support just now, also in a bit of an uptrend. Bias is technically neutral though, however I would prefer to buy it based off daily counter probabilities as well, using that in line with the actual structure on the 30-minute time frame and the formation of the current weekly candle, which is strong bullish. I'd rather look for the potential buys on GJ. So the only option where I will consider the counter trend sell is if this hourly closes bearish engulfing. That is the only way I'll consider any counter trend sell at this point. Mr. Phil, thank you. Appreciate it. Looking for some shorts on the next hourly candle on GU. Let's quickly look at it. Yeah, just one issue. There's not a great deal of margin and you've still got this support to the left. That'd be my concern. What sort of margin is there below it too? So you're looking at based off the hourly, so that's your support. You've got not even 10 pips, to be honest. Bit of a tough one. EU is the same, AU will be the same as well. Now, for potential GJ buys at London Open, what we want to see is this 15-minute candle close once again well above the bodies of the candle here to the left. Once again, I'd probably use around 50% this week. That would be enough to suggest to me that's a strong enough closure to trust it. If the London Open candle, you create a bit of a low wick and begun to break that 15-minute candle high. So use a, that is the wrong tool. We can use the pip. And I would say this level would suggest to me that it's a strong enough closure to trust the continuation buy. And I think that's well managed, Rick, on gold, because once again now it is approaching low of that previous candle. To break it, there is a high probability you can make a deeper pullback. members as well. I will be on for some sort of MY call. Probably the same as normal, to be honest, today. An hour or so before into the first 30-45 minutes or whatever. You can up to. Alright, so it's at support. Similar to GU, actually, by the looks of it, GCAD. So seeing it's at support wouldn't really make sense to sell into it. So you could potentially start looking for your colors for a buy option if there is enough margin. It's a long way off though, having the right confirmation in my opinion, as per my rules. Still requires a bit of time, needs some sort of confirmation, and not just a 15-minute candle against a really strong bearish candle. That is not a strong enough confirmation of support. Once again, let's focus on GJ now for the time being. And guys, as always, feel free to ask questions. Feel free to send in some charts. Really appreciate the support. It's probably more than what I thought I'd have on stream today, to be honest. So you guys rock. Definitely a change in temperature. Gone from humidity and plus 30 every day to what's 21 degrees here today, which isn't bad, but it's very chilly in comparison. Let's see on gold. See what happens. I'm gonna see this where this candle closes. Pre-London 15-minute. Obviously, looks like the hourly is closing this stage a relatively strong bearish candle, but we are respecting that resistance. Kim? Unfortunately, I don't know what that means. Let's try to keep it to English if you can, my friend. there will come a day when YouTube chat will automatically translate any language into your chosen language. I'm sure of it. Even the audio as well. I'm sure you can do it now, to be honest, with certain apps. With the audio aspect anyway. Not sure about live streams though. DJ once again rejecting. Alright. Alright, so if once again, if the hourly closes bearish, further confluence we got just now, I mean bearish and right near the low, if not engulfing that support. Further confluence we got just now is this 15 has pulled back more significantly into above this support, broken high of that previous candle. So if it did actually, if it closed below it, even better. But if it did close near the low of it, that would suggest that we've grabbed liquidity once again from this area of consolidation, this minor range. If we were to begin to break again on the following candle, so London Open, upper wick, rejects, begins to pop low, that potentially could be a catalyst for a sell, a counter trend sell. So that's something I'll keep an eye on. Got just under 3 minutes. Now, gold on the other hand isn't worth the shot based off the 15. What you'll have is the 5 minute as well, closing above a bit of consolidation. Just also based off the fact that we're expecting this level once again, we've tapped into it multiple times. The issue is it might make a move just now. I'm not prepared to take it within the current 15 minute. I'd rather just wait the 2 minutes. He says hello, can't read that. Maybe he does, I don't know. Yeah, so they're the options, guys. We'll see on GJ if it closes below. Contemplating potential gold buys. It's like it could make a bit of a move just now. I'm not prepared to take it, like I said just now. Gonna be tough based off the fact that there is little margin on the 15-minute time frame. The 5 minute looks okay. Yeah, there's really isn't much when you're looking at the 15. Once you count for spread, yeah, let's do this properly. Got about 11 pips on the table. Yeah, it's not great. So it all also depends on the open candle. I have this candle. So what I'm looking at potentially is if the new candle opens, London Open candle, and if we wick down and break low of this 5 minute and then begin to break above it, we'll also be breaking the 15-minute high. I may take an early entry, guys. So I want it to create a significant low wick, and I'd be looking at potential entry above 27.5103. That would be the entry point. So I want it to wick down. Once it wick down, break the low of that candle, and if it does, I'll set a buy order. Looks like it's about to flip. I'm sticking to my guns though. I'm sticking to my original plan. I wanted to create a decent low wick. It is London Open. I wanted to break the low of that candle. If it does so, what I'm going to do is set a buy stop above the 15-minute candle high. It needs to drop down a bit more. If it taps into that level, I'm seeing a buy stop. That's the condition. All right. I'm seeing a buy stop at 27.51.03. Stop loss below the previous M15. $27.51.03. So it's based off a 5-minute liquidity grab. We've broken a little trade upper wick, and we've since come back down, break low of that previous candle. If we were to continue bearish, there is not much need for us to pull back up and break our own high. It's also based off the 15-minute rejecting. We've rejected that previous resistance twice, leaving long wicks to the downside. So I feel if it begins to flip now, break the high of that previous M15, I'd trust it to give us at least that 10-15 pip push. So that's what I'm currently looking at. I don't want the 5 minutes to start closing very strong though. If it does, then I might need to once again wait. Hey, JJ close. Oh, how did this candle form, guys? Someone let me know. Did it pop straight down first? Yeah, JJ looks good if it breaks so low for a cheeky counter trend trade, because now it's popping back above the range. And seeing we've broken it, if we were to continue to the downside, I mean to the upside now, there is no need for us to pull back and break our own low. If we do begin to break our own low, what this suggests yet again is we're likely just grabbed a bit of liquidity from this, above this support, above this 15-minute support. And if we were to break our own low again, clean traffic to the left over here, I feel it's a good option to get involved in some counter trend sellers based off that. So that is potentially an option on GJ. Once again, preference would be to trade it with the trend, but as far as the most immediate options, that is what I'm seeing. So hopefully that makes sense. Now let's see on gold. Let's get true in. What I can do is I can drag my stop loss up straight away, just below the entry candle. That's what I'm going to do. Let's see. All right, pushing nicely. A little bit more and I'll get to break even. Projecting. All right, I've closed half as it's pulled back, flipped back bearish. I closed half to minus 5.5, I think it was. So again, it's just the way I go about managing trades. Brick, nice one. Oof. Strong rejection, isn't it? It was a quick move up, but really strong rejection. So I closed half. We're gonna flip. Ooh, GJ. Wow, GJ's the move. By the looks of it, gold's likely to get taken out. It is what it is. Learn to put break even as soon as possible. Yeah, what's good to manage trades, you guys see I don't muck around. As soon as I got triggered in, I adjust my stop loss. As soon as this flipped back after being about just over 5 pip profit, I cut half. Hopefully someone took GJ. So that's by the looks of that, that's gonna be the move. There you go. GJ looks like it's paying dividends. So I'm still in gold. Still got this remaining half of the position in. Got stopped out and lost way too often. Not put break even and take partials. That's, well, it's good of you to recognize that and learn to manage your trades more. Yeah, wow, look at that. Did anyone take GJ? You'd be very close to TP1. Gold's still trying to give it a bit of a push. All right, here we go. All right. Want a little bit more of a push. Do you play? Been a long time. Changed my name. XD. Nice one. Hope you're well, mate. Great to have you back. Rick, looks like it's going to sweep the high. Potentially. I mean, not just yet. V-Player was in gold longs yesterday, but then a crash came. Not trading gold, surely. Yeah, it's a little bit unpredictable off the back of the BRICS summit. You're in EU shorts. Nice one. From what I saw before, the majors were selling off, so it's like you're in probably in some decent profits. Yeah, looking good. 108, 113. Nice one. All right, come on, gold. Here we go. All right. There we go. So I'm gonna secure the bag, so I end up in a small win. That's what I've done. I secured the bag at 9 pips. I closed half at minus around 5, and I've closed the remaining half at plus 9.5 roughly. So I'm taking it as a small win. first trade back on stream, and there's intent either way. So worked out pretty well in the end. Hopefully you guys bought some pips. Hopefully you made a bit of a profit out of it. If you did manage it prior to it, again, nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that, because again, we are risk managers. I do never like to take a full loss on any trade. So it's a very small win, but it's a win nonetheless. B-play, do I think BRICS is going to affect the Forex market? Potentially, I think it will. Obviously, the majors, anything against the US dollar. Also gold, as gold will be their currency. I think it's called the unit. It's going to be backed 40%, I think it is, by gold, and the other 60% by other commodities. So yeah, I think it definitely could. Your country's in it. I wish my country was in it, in all honesty. I think it would be in our best interest if it was. Luke, doesn't matter, mate. I'm sure, as you're well aware, just need to reassess and come up with another game plan. But yeah. So it's a small W. Anyone take some profit out of it, let me know in the chat if you did. But you play India, nice one. Yeah, I think it's definitely in your best interest to be involved. Loud break even, that's all right. I mean, it did look good initially when it popped up without any drawdown, about 5.5 pips or so before it retraced quite significantly. But I almost took my full my stop loss out, to be honest. It got within probably a couple pips, but I was happy with the way it managed it, and now it's definitely making a move. So, well, 10 plus on the table right now. See if the BRICS affects the Indian rupee. Yeah, potentially could. Hopefully if you'll give it a little bit of strength. Not a bad start to the streams. I mean, picking up where we left off. Rick, take partial here. But you are taking, or should take? I think it's a really good place to take partials, because you're tapping into these wicks now. So definitely in agreement. GJ would have given the 10. Let's see, because hold on 1 second. That's a little bit stretching it a little bit too far. 1 minute. So that was the open. So your entry would have been the tab below there. No, I wouldn't have given the 10. Would have given about 6, but it looks at once you count the spread. So possibly a break even trade if it were me. And again, now it's with the trend right now. It is bullish, so it does make sense, and could be the reason as to why now it's popping back above this support. If there's one bit of advice I can give to anyone who's more new to trading, what I'd suggest is, come Wednesday, after a couple of days of data are printed for the week, if you've got a candle forming really strong in one direction, you're best to really just trade in line with that direction. So what you then do is basically, obviously marking charts, I'm marking my zones based off the 4-hour M30 and now the M15 as well. But what they provide is a potential pullback levels. Now, obviously if we are trending, which we are just now, you can see we're creating a series of highs, high lows, high high, high low, high high. Your next plan will be to look for just potentially where we could pull back to. Obviously got this level on the 15, and that could be potentially where price creates another high low before it heads back up. That is definitely the safest way to trade it when you have any currency pair or gold or whatever it is that you're trading, trending with a lot of strength in one particular direction come midweek. That is by far the best way to trade it. Won't be counter trade. I was going to say the only time you can really start counter trading it is once you get the structure flipping M30, but at that point there, you're starting trading live structure again. So what it would be doing is creating a deeper pullback. Not only that, it's breaking the lower support formed on the way up. It's flipping M30 structure. That is by far that at that point there to be your best option to look for any sells. That's just very simple to follow. That's definitely what I'd suggest to anyone who's relatively new to trading. Candle is amazing on gold. Wow, does look good. Wow, looks really good. It breaks the high of that previous candle. Wow, and even the limit order. Look at that. And all these entries, they relate on every different time frame. It doesn't matter what time frame you're looking at. I know some guys who can't be on the charts that often for obviously like work reasons and things like that, so they can only check out the charts once every a couple hours. So they choose to trade off the 4 hour, some trade off the 2 hours, some trade off the 1 hour. It just means they don't have to be stuck at the charts for as long. They can do their analysis, come back closer to the closure of the candle and see where price is at. If you were to trade the 4 hour based off the limit order entry, you'd be safely in profits right now. You'd be around 30 pip profit just now if you were to trade it based off that interruption pause play of the 4 hour, which definitely would have been valid. It's good to see it work on the higher time frame. Would have been very little drawdown. You're safely into some significant profits just now. Rick, I'm also out, mate. I secured the whole lot around that 9.5 roughly. It ends up being a small win because I did close half in a small drawdown as well. Once it flipped back bearish after being about 5.5 pips in profit. And it's flipped back bearish. I cut half straight away at that point. P-play, when I started, I used trade against the trend and get 200 pumped in the trash and back. Yeah, I know what you mean. It's the best, always better to trade for trend unless you have a really strong catalyst to do otherwise. And usually that will require a higher time frame catalyst, to be honest. EU is amazing. Really nice, mate. Yeah, you're in really nice profits. Good work. Just don't give it back, whatever you do. I'm not sure if you're an intraday, a scalper, a swing trader. I'm not sure what your targets are and things like that, but just don't be too greedy. Make sure not to give back profit because it's looking amazing, to be honest. Let's look at it on the higher time frames. It's currently at a support on the 4 hour. If it breaks it, there's clean trap to the left, but you can't just anticipate or break it. You have to actually, I'd wait for the confirmation. So it could potentially bounce off this level, so I would be considering managing it. Yeah, but otherwise you're looking good, mate. Looking really good. $175, nice one. Rick, as of that moment, what's the best thing to do? I agree. I agree, but also based on the 4 hour, re-entries look good. Personally, I wouldn't be interested myself. The next option would be the 30-minute closure. And if it's significantly engulfing, a limit order could almost be valid. Again, back in the high of that bearish candle. Now, the one issue here, and what I say to my guys is, look to the left. Have we tapped into target? Seeing if the limit order, let's just line this up quickly. If the limit order was off the back of the 30, you're basically buying it at the target, if that makes sense. So your target would be the resistance. So it makes it a little bit tricky. So therefore, what I prefer to see in the next 9 minutes is this candle actually engulf the highs of the current all-time high, and then with the limit order back at the highs of the 15-minute bearish candles. It will be the previous well, not the previous, will be these bullish candles in the M30 to the left, previous hourly high basically. Yep, replay. Yeah, it's nice entry, mate. Nice entry. I mostly trade the 1 minute time frame. For your strategy, 30 minute. Okay, interesting. Mix of both. Never really been fond of the 1 minute. I think, personally, in my opinion, it's a little bit too much data to actually I don't know. It just confuses me too much, to be honest. What might look like you've got some decent margin might often only be like maybe 5-10 pips, especially on GJ or gold. It might be a bit more, but to me it's just a little bit confusing. I'd rather just minimum 5 minute, but preference is the 15, 30 and the higher time frames. Goldman can sell a GJ now. Not sure why you think it's a sell. To me, it's definitely looking good for a potential buy. Just give me a moment, guys. I'll be back in 2 seconds. What have I missed? GJ is flying. Wow. It's definitely not impulse entry. Now, similar applies on GJ just now. There's little under 6 minutes remaining, and my preference at this stage is probably going to be the limit order. If it did close significantly above. Now, the only issue right now on GJ is definitely going to be stop loss. If you look at it in 15, if it was not to break the high of that candle just now, or if it closes where it is, you're gonna have just based the 15 minute 30 plus pip stop loss, which isn't great, but it would make sense because we are trending. What we can see is, once again, with, like I mentioned before, creating series of high lows, higher highs. The daily is forming a very strong bullish candle, and it's not like we're just straight upwards. We've had pullbacks, we've grabbed some liquidity. Excuse me, guys. Been a long day. So if we did begin to break the high of this candle and the following candle after creating a lower wick, that could be a potential option. Now, once again, I want it to close above that horizontal. That would be a strong enough closure above the bodies and candles to the left. Want it to create a decent lower wick, and that would have to that would likely be a stop loss. Probably start off the based off the 15, and then just adjust it according to the entry candle. So that is potentially something to look at on the following candle. And gold doesn't look at this stage like it's gonna close a strong candle is starting to reject. So let's keep an eye on GJ at the moment. About the hourly. GCAT, sorry, continuing below the support. Coming into 15-minute support just now though. Joe, good day to you, mate. Hope you're well. Been a while. Thank you. Good to be back. It's never great to leave Thailand. It's my home away from home, but it feels more like home than home does, if that makes sense. But it's what it is. Good. I'm happy to be back at a proper setup and streaming as well. That's a good thing. Vplay live. Yeah, live. I've mentioned it even on earlier today. I did have a funding account, but they come up with some bullshit rule in order not to pay me out on a 300k account. So it is what it is. It's a scam company. Only funds. Do not, if anyone is considering a funded challenge, do not go with only funds. All they do is scam you out of your cash. Which broker? IC Markets. Funding pips, they are good, I've heard. No idea. I'm really hesitant, to be honest, to try another one. The only one I really trust is FDMO, because I've seen people get paid out like within literally minutes. A good mate of mine got paid out, I think it was around 7 or 8 minutes, and it's at multiple times. I think another time was like 12 minutes. So it's the only one I trust personally. You tried to menu and Blueberry. Mr. Phil, good day to you, mate. How are you?
Good day. Welcome back.
Thank you. Good to be back on stream. Back with the full schedule. How's it going?
It's going all right.
Yeah. Did you get involved in GU?
No. I didn't take it. I was expecting, like, if it had to move, it had to give like a deep retest back to the upside.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so bigger pullback.
Yeah, I was expecting a really deep pullback, maybe right up to about 1.29, 850, like that.
Oh, all right.
No,
yeah.
Around there.
And then reject.
I was expecting like it should really give a deep pullback right up to around that area.
Okay. Yep.
But it didn't, so I didn't get involved.
Yeah. Fair enough.
But I did take a quick 12 pips off GA.
GA, nice one.
On the 1 hour, as it broke the low of
perfect. With the structure, rejecting resistance.
Yeah.
Nice one. I like that. That to me just suggests it's grabbing liquidity from the upside. If it fails and rejects and closes below, very weak closure. Yeah. So I mean 30 almost engulfed, 15, yeah, not a bad option on the 15 as well. Again, 1 week rejections, but yeah, based off the hourly more so than anything. I know that's your preferred time frame, the hourly and the 2 hour, so yeah. I think it's a solid entry.
So I took like 70% of the position, then the runner got stopped out just a few minutes ago. So
nice work. Yeah. All right, quickly back to gold. So 30 minutes closed. 15 were just closed above the bodies. 30 minutes just engulfed that bearish candle. Got no low wick. I'm not as keen on it right now. It pops up a little bit higher and retests these highs and then pops back down and creates low wick and then breaks again. I trust it a bit more, to be honest. So I want it to actually break this resistance, then pull back to create low wick. That point there, it's going to do one or two things. It either grab some liquidity once again from this resistance from the all-time high, and this is going to be a stubborn level, and it might at that point they reject and come back down towards the support again around at 27.49. But if it does pop up, then reject, creates low wick. If it was to continue bearish, we know there's no need for it to pull back up and break its own high, and if it does, what that would suggest is likely we've grabbed a little bit more liquidity from this level of consolidation or previous consolidation to the left, and we could, once we break above yet again, begin to make a nice clean move up. So maybe FTMO ban USA and India and multiple countries. I just got an invest carefully. Many people deep fake. Yeah, very many. Alright, so it creates lower wick now. Would have preferred for it to pop up a little bit higher, but it's still more probable in my opinion if it breaks again. GJSL 197.80, stop loss 198. I mean, you're looking good if you go into that. I'm not sure what your confirmation was, but nonetheless, who am I to argue? You know, you do you, I do me, and I'm happy if we're all profitable. That's the main thing. So nice one. The play MCX authorities of India made this. Oh really? Yeah, they're cracking down on things here in Oz as well. I mean, I can kind of understand, but it also spoils it for the people who actually understand what they're doing and the risk involved. It's the people who think it's a quick get rich scheme and can just chuck in, you know, $1,000 and flip it in a day to $2,000 and then flip it in a week to $5,000 and all that. They wreck it for everyone because then they whinge and complain how they lost their money and it was a scam. Where it's not, they had no idea how to manage their cash and the risk involved. So I've really got a feeling A.C.T are gonna crack down on it even further here, to be honest, which is, it's not great. What have I missed? Oh man, JJ 5-minute double top. Yeah, alright, I can see it. Again, it's not the way I trade, but by all means, I'm happy that you've made some profit from it, so well done. Once again, there is no right or wrong in trading, it's just whatever you can make work for you. That's it. Some prefer the way I trade, they have had success. Others just like to sit on the streams and have a watch and that, but trade their own way, which is, again, I understand. All right, so gold. I'm not convinced personally, but again, it does make sense if it breaks on high again for it to make another move. I'm just not as convinced by it, to be honest. I really would have wanted that initial idea to play out where it popped up a little bit high and then pulled back to create a low wick, then popped up again. Still going to 5 minute. Well, based on the 5 minute, I've got a catalyst. So entries are valid. Entries are valid above the high. I would go a small stop loss base 15. But to be honest, I think I'm just going to stick to that one trade. It's a small win. It's my first stream back. So VPlay, multi-commodity exchange of India, is a commodity exchange based in India. It was established 2003 and is currently based in Mumbai. Wow, there goes gold. Oof. It popped up quick. Would have been slipped, but still in decent profit. It's India's largest commodity derivatives exchange. Everyone thinks trading is easy money, but it's not. It's definitely not. Wow, look at that. Do I use CSM? I'm not even sure what that is, to be honest, my friend. Excuse my ignorance, but I have no idea. Wow, look at that. So gold making a move. Anyone get involved? Currency strength meter? No, I don't, to be honest. AJ still trying. Have I got an entry on the 5 minute as well? There is a valid entry as well, to be honest, on the 5 minute. Once again, it's not the cleanest. Gold was definitely a bit the better option if I was to trade for 5 minute. Yeah, so that's the next option. GJ, stop loss below low. I stop the high. Make that what you will. Once again, I'm not going to personally take it. Are you also going now, VPlay? Wow, still continuing. Nice one. It's broken that support now. Not quite, but close to it. Gold retest long. Yeah, it's a bit late for would have been the gold longs on the break the high. You were cooking? Happens, mate. Gotta pack those calories in. All those good nutrients. Gotta feel the body, right? So don't stress it. Sounds like you've already had a pretty good day as well, so don't force it. Please tell me someone took gold. Anyone take gold. Play started creatine 2 weeks ago. Creatine is fantastic. I'm definitely going to start again. I haven't. It's off it for the last 2 months since I was away. Very good for you. Very good for your organs as well. Obviously good for muscle strength and some mass. Most heavily studied supplement in history of sports supplements, from what I remember reading. And basically the only side effect most say potential side effect is hair loss, so I don't need to worry about that, do I? I'm not all that concerned by that. But yeah, otherwise creatine is very beneficial. A lot of doctors also recommend supplementing creatine, not for just people training, strength training. Not insane. Rick, creatine's cheat code, working the same for strength. Yeah, it is good. I think it's also one of bits to do with mentality. When you know your muscles, your mind, sorry. You know you're taking creatine and you think you're stronger. That I reckon kind of helps too. Wow, look at this beast go. We're gonna stop. Joe, on JJ, how come you have the horizontal line drawn where you do and not above the top? Oh, that was just the gauge the strength of where I wanted a catalyst counter to close above. So not just above the bodies of the counters to the left. When it's closed significantly above. So what I did was draw in 50% from the body of the candle, the open, to the highest point. And at that point there, if it closed above that level, I would consider it to be a strong enough catalyst to look for a potential impulse entry if the following candle broke the high of this candle. So that's what that was based on. Not entry at that point. Entry still would have been above the high, but closures as your catalyst above that point. Yeah, it wasn't for resistance, mate. It was just gauge strength of where I want my catalyst candle to close at. Your bench is 85 kilogram. Nice one. I don't do barbell bench, to be honest, guys. I do dumbbells. It's less restrictive. You can more range of motion as well. Plus, you don't really need a spotter as much anyway. The hardest part about the dumbbell press is just getting it into position. But there are ways to do it. And obviously, with experience, I've learned some good ways to do it without straining any your shoulder, or your muscles, your shoulder, or anything. Imagine Biden taking creatine. What a flop that guy is. GJ Sim 4 on 87. Maybe, who knows? Who knows, but wow, look at gold. So no one took gold. Surprised. I would have thought a few of you would have been all over gold, to be honest. He will choke on creatine. Probably chokes on bloody water in general, wouldn't he? The guy can't even walk, can he? That's if it's really him. Yeah, those are rumors that it's someone in a mask. Ron Biden's dead apparently. Joe, all good. But you play tried a dry scooping vomited? Yeah, I don't know about that, to be honest. That's a little bit too hardcore for me. You see those guys dry scoop the bloody pre-workouts and all that as well. Rick, it is. It's on creatine, isn't it? It just doesn't stop. Luke didn't take it. All good. Yeah, again, it's one of those ones. Should have, could have, but didn't. But what we need to realize is if you want it, you just need to reassess and move on, not dwell over it. There's no point. Obviously, you know, you can analyze it, screenshot it, and then, you know, go down different time frames and take note of it, so you can if you see it play out again, a similar sort of setup, then you could trust it. But there's no point getting emotional, obviously, which I'm sure you're aware of either way. Bro's esophagus is on. Do I know Ratan Tata? Can't say I do, mate. No, I don't. Bullish engulfing on GJ is what will suffice for any potential entry. Bullish engulfing M15. Good line. It is for States. Funny, didn't that guy holiday in the States or some of his family years prior to becoming who he did? I remember seeing a documentary on it. Didn't he die? Yeah. Well, supposedly. Who knows? All these conspiracy theories about everything. As we know, media just let out what they want the public to know, even if it's not true. So captured him in question. I don't know, I thought didn't they kill him on the spot? I think that was the other one they captured in question before killing. At Saddam. That's it. He doesn't even know he's the president. Biden. Not for much longer anyway. We've seen the footage of him at multiple meets and all that and campaigns and whatever. He turns to the wrong side to shake someone's hand. He's put his hand out waiting and there's no one there. That's why a lot of people say it's someone. It's actually it's a robot. That's what a lot of people say. Kind of, you know, makes you think, makes you wonder. Back to the charts, yeah, should, but there's again the rules. The rules is GJ basically want it to be engulfing for any potential buyer. Gold is a little bit late, which should have been in entries if anyone was contemplating it. Yeah, that's the options. Go funny shit. It is. To be honest, makes me laugh when you see and watch some of these videos. Kamala. I want to get political here, but I'm all for Trump, to be honest. I wish we had a character. Yeah, he says some stupid shit, but he's a businessman. He's not stupid, that's for sure. And all I know is we've got a bunch of absolute blogs running this country here in Oz. They have no idea whatsoever. My dog could do a better job, in all honesty. They have no hope. No hope. And most of them don't even last the term because they get ousted by within their own party. So our country is just, we have no hope when it comes to politics. They're all useless. Every single freaking one of them. Might get a strike for that, I don't know, but it's true. Speak the truth. No bullshit. Luke, if we keep rejecting and get closure below the 15-minute zone on JJ, would you look for sales? Good question. And yes, I would, because also it's that 30-minute support. So if it did reject and close below not only the 15-minute but the 30-minute support, so now what you could do is you really should be drawing your zone in a little bit lower down. You should just drag it down a bit to that point there, and I would change it to the 30-minute color just to help distinguish between the time frames. And I would say buys above that point if you have the margin. Probably won't once it forms support. However, if it does close below it, you got some clean traffic to the left. Also breaking creating a lower low if it does close below it, and in my opinion it's a high probability at that point there. That would be enough to suggest we're coming back down to the next floor, next level of support around that 197.50. So yeah, definitely would consider the sell options. Don't talk about Democrats. Honestly, they're all... I'm not big on politics and that, because I just don't trust any form of government, to be honest. But if I had a choice, I know who I'd be voting for. And it's definitely not the lady. It's just using a popularity vote. Excuse me once again, guys. I've not slept since almost, yeah, about over 40 hours now. It's all, you know, well and good, and I've got to be careful what I say because I don't want to offend people, but I would not be voting for her, put it this way. If I had a choice, no way. Joe, great shout. Thank you. Change the topic. Well, yeah, we probably should. Bricks, once again, I think it's a good thing. I wish, once again, we're going to start getting back into politics. I wish my country would join. It's smart. The currency is backed by real tangible commodities, not some be it fake shit. That's just all credit. That's all it is. IOUs. That's all it is. Banknotes. It's in exchange for actual physical gold and other commodities. So to me, that's the best way to go about it. And hence why I believe gold is also heading up, not just because of all the geopolitical things going on around the world. I think BRICS is having a fair whack on gold at the moment. How can it not? If they're talking about moving away, you're talking about, you know, Saudis who trade oil for previously for $1. They're moving away from that and joining, obviously they are joined already the BRICS, and they're going to start trading with their own, I think it's the unit currency backed by gold and other commodities. Then how can that not impact the US dollar? However, you know, it is supposed to be the petrodollar, but for how long? Arrow? Yeah. Shocking, isn't it? It's an absolute joke. Doesn't matter who you vote for, they're always useless as each other. Luke, nice one. On JJ, yep. right, so for me, guys, gold is, if you're not in a gold trade right now, I personally, I think you missed the boat. The next potential entry is the limit order. That is the only thing I could see right now. Is the limit order based off the hourly. It'd be a limit buy at the high of that bearish candle. Your stop loss, I'd probably use the 30 is not going to be wide enough, to be honest. That's going to be about 11, 12 pips. Not enough. I just have a wider stop loss. That is all I see right now, personally. And GJ, not quite a strong enough catalyst still for sales at this rate. Would still prefer the buy option. Yeah, good call. Don't trust government or Rick. Nah. At least we all agree here. I think by the sounds of it. V play Oz or you Oz, my friend. Our cricket team's obviously a lot better than the English. Not that I really follow it, to be honest, but Rick, you expect gold to make all-time highs until election's over? Yeah, just gonna keep going. 3K I feel is definitely on the radar before year's end. I think it's a strong possibility. Trump will be, well, that's the flip side of it. If he does get elected, I agree, that would likely go good for the US dollar, because he's all about having a strong currency. So if that is to be the case, then yes, I agree, and that could make gold pull back a little bit. Rick, as soon as elections over, big dump. Yeah, wait and see. About 21 pips. PJ rejecting once again, but not quite below to support. The issue with gold right now is the limit order. I mean, it looks good, but you're looking at still based off the 30-minute and 40 pip stop loss, which is kind of what you need to roll with when there's so much volume and momentum in the markets right now on gold. DC Trading Company, more into you. Thank you for the support. All right, so based off the interruption play, so we've got an impulse followed by this little pause just here. We've significantly engulfed it. The limit order is valid. Entry could be at the high of that bearish candle in anticipation the new hourly pull back to tap into the high of that candle. The issue is if it breaks the high of the previous hourly prior to it, the entry becomes, in my opinion, invalid, because it may have just grabbed a little bit more liquidity from the upside, creating significant upper wick, and if it does end up pulling back down and taking a bit of time to do so, there's a good chance it could end up closing back a bearish candle. At that point there, the new candle opens up, creates an upper wick, breaks the low of the bearish candle's low, it's likely going to pull back more further into your stop loss and potentially take it out. So it's about to break. So in that case, I've not actually set it. I've got the horizontal set. As soon as it breaks, I remove it. I won't set it. GJ close. Oh, weak bullish on the alley. Yeah, still be careful with it because it is in an uptrend, guys. So you really want a strong catalyst at this rate. It hasn't quite tapped into a resistance to the left to trust that maybe that's just a bit of minor support, and if it breaks, it's going to make a deeper pullback. When looking at here to the left, it's already gone passed through that level. Let's just mark it into clean traffic. So yeah, I would have preferred a closure blow, definitely, because it is counter trend. Much rather a strong catalyst. All right, so gold, I think it's broken. It has by a point. So therefore, technically, if I was to follow my rules, it's become invalid. So the other option would be, if you're still keen on a limit order, then by all means, you want to be triggered in pretty quickly though. I wouldn't want it to linger out towards the closure of the 15. The other option would be if it again creates the low wick and begins to flip, you could look to potentially buy stop the high. That's the other option. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to wrap it up personally. I'm going to go grab some dinner on my end, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back a little bit later with the VIP, the members group, for a free MY into maybe the MY open little session. So yeah, so that's a wrap for me. Good first day back, just small win in the end on gold. Yeah, so that's it. To conclude right now, that's your options on gold. I prefer the pullback as opposed to the continuation buys, especially without lower wick. And GJ, as I mentioned before, would like to see a closure below the M30 retest, seeing it is counter trend. Just be more picky with it. Otherwise, continuation buys definitely look a good option. Above the high, you still do have the margin to the left. Yeah, so that is pretty much it. Buys from lower down as well, still going to be technically bullish at this point. Quickly look at GCAD, doesn't look great, near support, so a bit late to any option there for a buy, for a sell, sorry. Probably need to wait for it to set up for the buy. Yeah, I'll be avoiding it right now, it doesn't look great to me. So that's it. Hope you all had a good session. Appreciate the support. It's good to be back. Hope to see you all again tomorrow. If you could, if you have not done so, I'm pretty sure you're all already done it though. Make sure you hit the like button on the way out. Thank you to everyone. Take some sleep. Yeah. Easier said than done, Franco. I'm sort of running on a bit of a adrenaline rush right now. But who knows, I'll hit the wall eventually. But anyway, guys, members, I'll catch you guys a bit later. The rest of you, I'll see you tomorrow, same time, same place. Thank you. Take care, guys. Have a good one. Stay safe. Catch you tomorrow. Cheers, guys. Bye.